Learned in the previous video, in the previous page also of the activity guide, is that if we have two coterminal angles, which means that their initial and their terminal side are the same, and if we take the sine function of those angles, for example the angle 30 and angle 390, if we take sine of 30, it's going to be equal to sine of 390. Because at the end of the day, those two angles look the same in the unit circle. One of the angles is over here, 30 degrees, and the other angle goes around a full circle, 360, and then another 30 to reach 390. Okay, good. Now, we could also rewrite this expression over here and say that sine of 30 degrees is equal to sine of 30 degrees plus 360 degrees. Why does that make sense? Because 30 plus 360 is equal to 390. Now I'm going to remind you of something we did last year, something you guys wrote in your PVATs, and that was, what does a sine function look like? I hope a lot of you remember that a sine function has an amplitude, has a period, has a horizontal shift, and a vertical shift. Again, this was amplitude, B was period, or frequency, right? Frequency. C was the horizontal shift. D was the midline. And also we called it the vertical shift. It had two names. You could call it a midline or you could call it vertical shift. Well, now let's look at this expression over here and let's try to translate it into our general function. Our amplitude in this case is not existent, that's why we can put a 1 here, right? So our amplitude equals 1. And then we have sine. There's no period really, so our period again is 1. And our x is equal to 30 degrees, that's our input. Plus, our horizontal shift is 360 degrees. And our midline doesn't really exist, so it's really 0. Now we have this wonderful function, right? Usually this should be an x here. But in our case, we're just looking at one point in this function when x is equal to 30. What is cool about that is that this 360 degrees shifts the function left or right. In this case, because we have a plus, we're going to shift left. If you remember, plus shifts to the left. Sorry, I meant to say to the left. And minus shifts to the right. So let's see what this will look like. If we have our little coordinate plane, this is our x-axis and this is our y-axis. Sorry, this is our x-axis. This is our f of x-axis, or y-axis. Here's what the sine function looks like. And on this side, we kind of have the same. And this here will be 0 degrees, this will be 180 degrees, this will be 360 degrees, or this will be pi, and this will be 2 pi, and this will be minus 180, or minus pi, and this will be minus 360, or minus 2 pi. Now, I'm shifting left because I have a plus sign in front of my coefficient. I'm going to shift left. I'm going to shift every point by 360 on the x-axis. So this point is going to go all the way down here, 360. This point over here is going to shift all the way here. This point over here is going to shift all the way here. You guys are getting it. We're going to end up with a new function. But guess what? Our new function is going to lie exactly on top of our old function. Because sine of x is exactly equal to sine of x plus 360. So now you're seeing how the horizontal shift in a sine function when it's 360 degrees really doesn't change anything. We can also show this in the circle, in the unit circle over here. If you can see, I'm going to draw our sine function. When we are at 30 degrees will be somewhere here on the x-axis. Our y value is over here, somewhere on the f of x, or the y-axis, okay? However, if I take 390 degrees and I go around the circle the way I already did, I still end up in the same place. However, not at 30 degrees, just a little bit further down, here at 390 degrees. But my f of x value or my y value stays the same. So now I hope you understand that sine of x equal to sine of x plus 360, the way you saw it in the unit circle. I hope you connect what you just learned to what we did last year, that this horizontal shift in a trig function, in a sine function, does not really change how the function looks. Shifting the function by 360 to the left or right does not change the function. Shifting a sine function horizontally by 360 degrees does not change how the function looks. Okay, have fun with the next activity. You're going to be playing a little puzzle game. I hope you enjoy it.